Good afternoon and Happy New Year. Welcome into the Millbrook First Nation Arena here at the Rec for some Nova Scotia Under-15 Major Hockey League action between the visiting Novas and the hometown Truro Bearcats. Noah Poirier with you here on the call this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in, courtesy of High Button Sports. Both teams' first game back since the Christmas break. Nova's coming off a 6-0 win against the John L. Jim Cougars. The Bearcats coming off a 7-6 nail-biter defeat at the hands of the Dartmouth Whalers. As we're underway here, a quick shot from Crawford was paddled aside by the starting goaltender Blake Butcher. Now back the other way, picked up by McMullen. The Nova's captain, he'll send it up the wall. Delayed offside. Bearcats are able to clear. McMullen will throw it right back in. Second chance ever cleared in by the Novas as they'll get a change. The Novas having a year right now, 11-2-2-1, third in the Nova Scotia Under-15 Major Hockey League standings. They've brought back nearly everyone from last season, including their starting goaltender here tonight, Landon Wilson, and even their backup, Dylan Mombercat. It's rare that you see a goaltending tandem back for back-to-back years. Landon Wilson gets a start tonight. It's a hard hit behind the net. It's pulled free by the Novas. They'll try to start up ice. Miller will swat it back in down low. Picked up there by McDonald. Up the wall, chipped to the middle. That's nearly turned over and now is picked up behind the net by Cohen Frazier. He'll get it ahead. So Novas will give chase. Frizzle rubs his man out along the boards as McDonnell hits the ice. Right back up to his feet, and he'll charge. After the play, he'll force Rowan McCachran into the icing as we get our first whistle of the game. Exactly a minute and a half gone into this one. As for the Bearcats, they come in 5-8-1. We're on a 3-game winning streak before that was snapped at the hands of Dartmouth just before the Christmas break. So face-off comes to the right of Butcher. Back to the point. Shot comes in through traffic. That missed the goal. Bearcats currently sitting 9th in the 12-team standings. Behind the net. Chipped ahead. Miller will send it all the way up. Here's Frizzle having an excellent rookie season here from the Bearcats. Played under 13 AAA here last year in Truro. Here's Michaud, another alumni of that under-13 program in his first year with the under-15 club. Novas get the line and will send it down deep as it's picked up by Bowen McNutt. Pass through the middle. Here's Holman working in one-on-one. He'll try to drive wide, but he lost it. So he was trying to work by Rain MacDonald. Big hit along the boards, and it comes back to Michaud at the point of shot. That's deflected on. Pad save made by Wilson. Holman will swing it behind the net to Stanfield. Back to the point, McNutt looking for an angle, lost it. And it's picked up by Lincoln McDonald, not the Bearcats captain. Also a Lincoln McDonald on the Novas. Putting up pretty similar numbers, but not the same person. McDonald, of course, a common surname in that Antigonish area. So no doubt there's a handful of them on this team. On the net, Michaud ahead to Cameron Ripley. Chips it out to center. Crawford will go rink wide. In come the Nova. Shot on goal, swallowed up by Butcher as Frazier came in off the line and got a quick shot in. Right off the point, Sampson with a shot. 16 goals on the season for the second year. Asher Sampson. Lincoln McDonald of the Bearcats trying to work it free. He lost it. Now behind the net was Sampson. He's knocked off stride by Ripley. It comes back to the point by Lockyer. His shot through traffic. Rebounds there for Ripley. He tries to jam it through. It's on the line and cleared away by the Novas. Glorious chance for Truro as that point shot's also deflected high and wide. Lockyer was playing forward in the last game we saw before Christmas, back to his normal defensive position. Sidney Scott and Reed Reynolds both remain out of the lineup. Sampson chips it back to his D-man Frazier. He overskated it. Sampson will come back and collect. Up the wall, nobody there in a blue jersey. It's swung back down low by Hudson Miller. Frazier will chip it ahead. Dykers takes a bump, but it's left there, and the Novas will work it ahead. Here's Colin Crawford, leading scorer for the Novas. He switches spots. Shot comes in. Save is made by Butcher. Here come the Bearcats. Back the other way. Frizzle. Down the wall. Shot. Glove save is made by Wilson. It's both teams right into it after the Christmas break. Back and forth we go. Right to the point. That shot sent wide. Another shot on goal, patted aside by Wilson as he stays tight to his post. The Bearcats pressuring here. Miller forces a turnover, tried to go through the defenseman's skate, but it's poked ahead momentarily by Rain McDonald. Here's Remard. Remard will work it up ice himself, gains the line. Shot comes in, just missed on the far side. And back at center, McMullen hands it off to his D partner. That was McDonnell. The Novas once again get it in deep. Here's Lex McKenzie. He'll swing it up ahead. It's deflected, but still has too much juice on it, and we'll go for an icing against the Bearcats with under 10 to play here in the first. Both teams will be heading to the East Coast Ice Jam later this week. That, along with the Monktonian, two of the biggest under 15, under 16, under 18 hockey tournaments in Atlantic, Canada. You can catch all that action on High Button Sports as well, as that shot comes in from the top of the face-off circle, went wide. Action all weekend from the Greenfoot Energy Center in Bedford, as well as East Hant Sportsplex, and shot comes in from the point, is gloved down by Butcher, and they're even bringing the girls on board this year, which is good to see. The under 18 girls portion of the Ice Jam will take place right here at the Rec. You can catch all four divisions on High Button. Back to the point. Walking the line is McMullen. His shot. That caught McNutt in the pant leg. The rebound flipped high and wide. Back to the point. McMullen gets it back. Swing it back down low. McDonald. This is Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. Swung back down low. Pulled free. Bearcats will get it out. Here's Jackson Stanfield. Tips it through the legs of the defender. Tries to get in deep. He's angled off by McMullen. Purcell will send it around the wall. Lockyer will hold the point. That caught a Bearcat right on the inside of the pant leg as Stanfield was watching the play down low. He got run over by McDonald, but gets right back into the play. Here's Andrew Michaud. Directed in as Wilson slows it up behind the net for the Novas captain McMullen. Here's McMullen. He gets in deep as he takes a hard hit from the Bearcats. Lincoln McDonald turned over behind the net to Dykers. That's pulled free by McDonald. He'll slip it out to the blue line. Just held in by the Novas. Lockyer looking for the long stretch pass. That evades Ripley and will go down the ice for an icing. Michaud flips it up the wall. Ripley McDonald calling for the pass in the middle. He gets it, tries to evade a pair of Novas. He was knocked over. Lockyer will send it ahead. That's his man Crawford, held up by Lockyer. Michaud will rim it all the way around to the near side. Ripley pokes it ahead to the line. Rain McDonald in off the point. Directs one towards the net. Webb ahead. Ripley will give chase, has McDonald with him. McDonald trying to muscle off McDonald. That's Rain McDonald. Lincoln will send it ahead. Was looking for Webb, who was creeping down into the slot area. Kenzie ahead. That misses everybody. That'll be an icing call against Truro. Face off to the right of Butcher. Shots 5-4 in favor of the Novas. Shot from a sharp angle. Kicked aside by Butcher. It's pulled down low by Manton Austin. Another one of these second-year players. He pulls it free. Save made by Butcher again. Back to point. Shot comes in once again. And Butcher with a flurry of saves here. He's able to cover that one up. That one off of Alex McDonald. We have 3 McDonalds, a MacDonnell, and a McMullen on the Novas. And then we have Lincoln McDonald of the Bearcats. As that shot goes off the post down low from Austin. Broadcaster's dream in this matchup here today as a shot comes in from a sharp angle. Butcher makes a save and he finds it. Oh, and how could I forget a McIsaac on the Novas as well. Colton McIsaac lining up on left wing. Chipped ahead by Cogan McCauley, the AP in the lineup for Truro today. It's MacDonnell battles in the far side corner, and he's doing good work against a couple of lanky Bearcats down low. Back to the point. Alex McDonald will float it down low for MacDonnell. He bumps McNutt. There's another Mick on the Bearcats that I forgot about. Zanova still battling for puck possession. Back to the point. McMullen stutter step at the line, but he couldn't hold it in, and it'll be offside against the visitors. Holman wins that draw back. Lockyer retreat below the goal line. Makes a nice move around the Nova forechecker. Gets it ahead, but it's turned over. Chipped ahead by Lincoln McDonald. Comes back to the point. Here's Frazier. He'll walk the line. Send one through traffic. Save is made. Rebounds there. Lockyer will chip it ahead. Cogan McCulley chips it to the near side. Lockyer will get it in deep. As it's picked back up by Purcell, he'll go D-to-D for Frazier. And up the walls, the Novas break out. Pass intended for Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. It's tipped away. Here's Rowan McCachran. Takes a bump from Austin, but he's able to get it in deep. It's Ripley in on the forecheck. Here's Purcell. Up the wall, Austin. His pass was blocked, but he gets it back. He'll send one up and ahead. Icing will be waved off, but Lincoln McDonald of the Novas will be first on it as he's ran into the wall by Lockyer. Here's Alex McDonald, holds the line. Passed off, Crawford has some room. The top of the circle, shot blocked by Lincoln McDonald. Rain McDonald sends one towards the net. That was blocked, and it's cleared away by Truro. Now a 2-on-1 back the other way. Here's Keegan Webb down the right side. Centering pass just behind Lincoln McDonald. He got a piece, but not enough. Here's Sampson. Down the near side, working one-on-one with McKenzie. Tried to peel back, but lost an edge. Dykers gets it back to Alex McDonald at the point. Shoots it wide on purpose. Was looking for the tip. Crawford picks it up behind the net. Crawford back to the point. That Gets by Rain McDonald and all the way down into the Nova's end. Wilson will play it around to McDonald. Has Hudson Miller draped all over him. Miscommunication by the Bearcats. This, neither Clow nor Frizzle called the loose puck out front. Now Sampson will work it himself as he gets it in deep. And the Novas are off on a change. Kenzie pass it ahead. That misses Miller. Will go all the way down the ice. And another icing call against the Bearcats as it's now the Novas with some sustained pressure over the last couple of minutes. Bearcats get it off the draw. McKenzie steered into the boards by McDonnell. It's cleared away by Truro. Here's Frizzle. He'll send one in from well out. Easy stop is made by Wilson. He gets tied up with his own man, Frazier. Frazier able to recover and pass it off to McMullen behind the net. Pass through the middle. Missed its mark, and that'll get down the length of the ice for an icing call against the Novas. Novas get it off the draw. McMullen up the far side boards, chips it ahead. Here come the visitors in transition. Remard was draped all over by Holman. He was able to break up the play. Shot on net, deflected by McIsaac. Almost caught that top corner, but just missed. Wadden with a long pass ahead. That was deflected in. They're going to say it wasn't. There'll be another icing call against Truro. Play will head right back down into the home team side. Crawford in to take the draw against Holman. Back to point, shot off the draw. That was deflected wide. Rain McDonald will pinch in from the point. He's able to hold the line. Duggan trying to weave around a couple of Bearcats. He gets the puck back and will hand it off for Crawford. Into the middle, shot, glove save made by Butcher. Bearcats win the draw, but it almost pops right out in front. Duggan's able to pick it up. Send it back to the point. D-to-D pass. Here's Rain McDonald. Off his back foot. That was blocked by Lincoln McDonald of Truro. Duggan takes a big hit in the corner from Webb. And the little flip pass out. Rain McDonald. Good play. Able to knock it down. Back to the point. Alex McDonald able to keep it in momentarily, and he keeps it in there. A good play by Rain McDonald there to knock out that pass. He'll pick up the puck now. I always preach, no matter what age you are, junior, U15, U18, the flip pass is becoming so common to relieve pressure. And if you're a defenseman playing that center ice and you're able to play that flip pass and stop a breakaway at the other end, if you can get your body in front of it, it's such an underrated skill to have. So we've seen there, if Rain McDonald doesn't knock that down, Lincoln McDonald catches him flat-footed. He's gone on a breakaway. So basically what I'm saying, practice knocking down pucks in the neutral zone. As Frizzle will cycle it down low, the Bearcats will give chase, but it's picked up by Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. He fanned on his pass and then overskates the puck. Can't find it in front. It's tipped off of Austin right to Crawford. They'll get it to the line, but not out. Lex McKenzie's shot goes well wide. Austin will pick it up on the left wing. Chipped ahead to Crawford. They have three men with them. Here's Crawford. Backhander save made by Butcher. So he's been busy the last couple of minutes. Able to glove down that backhander with McDonnell standing right on the doorstep. Face-off comes to the left of Butcher. Nearly down to the final minute of play here in this first period. Still awaiting the game's first goal. McCulley wearing number 10. He dropped it off. Nobody there but a blue sweater. Good play by McEachran to stay with it. Back to the point. Frazier, his shot through traffic, misses wide. Sampson, swing it down low. It's off the stanchion. Will go down the ice. I don't think this will have enough on it. And icing will be waved off. It's Cohen Frazier will pick it up. He'll go D-to-D for Purcell. Up ahead for Sampson. Pass in the middle. That's flipped in by Dykers. Directed to the corner by Butcher. It's picked back up by the Novas. They'll work in. Shot steered aside by Butcher again. His 12th stop of the first period. It's cleared down the ice by the Bearcats. Won't have enough on it for icing, and Sampson will try to wheel back the other way. Asher Sampson. That's into the middle. Michaud able to stay with them. He'll give chase as it's sent to the near side. McMullen will step up off the line. His shot was redirected. Back to the point. Alex McDonald looking for a shot. Hands it off for McMullen off the back foot. His shot saved by Butcher as the period comes to a close. A busy second half of the first period for Blake Butcher, but he's able to stop all 13 shots directed his way. 13-6 the shot totals in favor of the Novas. So we head to the second period. Bearcats will be back in action tomorrow morning. A quick turnaround as they'll head down to the Queen's Place Amera Center in Liverpool to take on the Western Hurricanes. That's an 11 o'clock start. Novas will be home tomorrow in a big matchup. 11:30 at the Antigonish Arena. They'll take on the Warewell Bombers. Bombers currently sitting tied with the Novas. Bombers have more wins in regulation, so they currently sit in second. So depending on the outcome of today's game, and then the Bombers play the Rage later at Cole Harbour Place, that could decide who will jump into second place tomorrow, depending on all the results of today. So we're here and ready to go for the second period. No score after 15 minutes of play here at the Rec. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and a happy New Year. Hockey's back for the second half. We got you covered here at High Button Sports as the Bearcats get the puck. Wadden lost an edge, and it's a 2-on-1 back the other way. Crawford has Dykers with him. Colin Crawford waits, hands it off. Dykers on his backhand, missed the net. The defenseman was sprawling out. Crawford had to make that quick decision. It comes back to the point. McMullen will walk the line. That's gloved by Butcher as he holds on 29 seconds into the period. Face off inside the Bearcats' end. Austin will come out for the draw against Jacob Clough. They'll redo it. To the left of Butcher. Won by Truro Merriweather. Around for McKenzie. He'll send it ahead for Frizzle. Clean breakout from Truro. And Clough will drive ahead. He beats his man wide. Clough stays with it. Centering pass. Doesn't make it through. Shot deflected. Clough gets it back. That shot is blocked as well. Kenzie will pinch in. Send it hard back in down low. Wilson out of his net to play it. Hand it off for Frazier up the wall. Here's Rain McDonald. Head Gillis. Turn it over and the Bearcats get it back down deep. Rain McDonald will spin off his check and send it ahead to Duggan. Duggan through the middle. It's turned over. McCully send it towards the goal, but it's picked up by Frazier. Up. Pinched in off the point was McNutt. Bearcats are able to keep it in as they try to cycle down low. Austin was there. Absorbs a check. Frazier will shovel it ahead. Weiss Gillis. 2 Gillises as well on this Novus team. Here's Weiss Gillis. His shot doesn't make it through on net. Long stretch pass goes in on net. Missed Stanfield, or else he was off to the races fresh off the bench. The face-off will come to the right of Landon Wilson. Purcell behind the net. McMullen. Head for McIsaac. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Holman tried to make a move, but it's sent out to center, where it's sent back in by Merriweather momentarily. Here's Romard. He was stripped on the second chance opportunity. McDonnell will get it into the Truro end. Stanfield trying to one-touch it off. He's pinched off by McMullen. McMullen will work down the left side. Will send it back to the point to Romard, covering his point position. Looking for the D-to-D pass, and off the line, Purcell. That shot blocked by his own man. It comes back to Purcell. He'll look for an opening, and that shot whistles wide. Romard still covering the point, is able to keep it in. McIsaac spins off a check, will send one just wide of the goal. Purcell down low. McIsaac down low, Romard. Romard steps out, shot off the outside of the post. Now back the other way, Cogan McCully, the affiliate player. Nice toe drag move to get by one. He's all alone. McCully, great sprawling play by Romard. Able to get back. Purcell will send it ahead. Michaud will knock it right back in to the Nova's end. Both teams trying to get some changes in. McMullen fanned on his pass. Webb steps up. Another great sprawling play, this time by McDonnell to swat it away. Here's McIsaac. He'll rim it around. He needs a change. Lockyer will stop up. He'll rim it all the way around to the far side. Off the skate of Ripley into Lincoln McDonald. He couldn't handle it cleanly. Peoples trying to send it ahead, but the Bearcats get it out of harm's way. Peoples looking for it again. He's watched over by Lincoln McDonald. He absorbs a check from Austin. Bearcats get it deep as Wilson not shy to come out of his net to play the puck. Not shy to take his time either. Michaud pinches up off the point. It's chipped ahead. Peoples has Austin going to the net, hands it off for Austin. A couple of Bearcat sticks converge on him and knock him off stride. Back the other way, Webb has a step. He works in on Alex McDonald. Webb trying to sprawl, didn't get a lot on it. Was no icing on the play. Lincoln McDonald of the Novas tips it off ahead to Austin. He gets tied up with his own man, but is able to get it deep into the Truro end. McKenzie up the wall to Lincoln McDonald. His pass hits a skate and goes right to Hudson Miller. He'll drive wide, send one towards the net. Redirected aside by Wilson. Novas get it behind the net. Up the near side, Clough, fresh off the bench, will try to push it ahead. Crawford stays with it. He'll go across to his D-man, Rain McDonald. Ahead here's Sampson, has Dykers with him. Sampson, pass across, Dykers settles it down. Shot off the outside of the net. He had to go skate the stick to corral it cleanly, and he ran out of real estate. Frizzle. Down low, Wadden battles with his man. McKenzie comes in for support. Will flip it down the ice. Icing called against Truro. Linesman takes a tumble. Sticks the landing. Faceoff comes to the left of Butcher. Kenzie gets to it. He goes behind the net looking for Wadden. Wadden could handle that cleanly. McDonnell right down along the Zamboni door trying to battle for it. Comes free. Here's Lex McKenzie. Pass it through the middle. Clough will tip it ahead. Frizzle out of nowhere. Shot! Save by Wilson. He tries to send it back to the point, but the Bearcats defense were changing. Merriweather will be first on it. Takes a bump. Pass across for McIsaac. Curl back. Back to the point. McMullen. In off the line. His shot. Deflected. McIsaac will swing it back down low. Merriweather will be the first on it. Up ahead. One touch pass through the middle for Clough. Clough gains the red and will dump it in deep. Wilson out of his net to play it. He'll reverse it for McMullen. McMullen, nice move. Bass one. Pass it ahead for McIsaac. McIsaac drives wide, stays with it, being watched by Lockyer. Lockyer able to break it up. The Bearcats will try to work ahead the other way. Pass through the middle. Here's McCulley. He'll dump it in on goal. That's gloved by Landon Wilson. He'll be forced to cover up. 13:47 left to go here in this second period. Still awaiting the game's first goal. Tie up off the draw. Finally found by Austin. He'll reverse it behind his own net. Here's Rain McDonald. Head. Lincoln McDonald. 3 McDonalds on the ice right now for the Novas. I knew I was going to have that problem at some point in the game. Lincoln McDonald of the Novas ahead to Peoples. Peoples able to drive wide. Stops up. Hands it back. Here's Alex McDonald with some room. Shot! Save made. He had all the time in the world to shoot. Had a good screen as well in front from Austin as that puck sent the length of the ice. Will be another icing call against Truro. Face off to the left of Butcher. Flipped out and down the ice. Draw weight is good and won't have enough on it for icing as Rain McDonald will pick it up beyond the net as the Bearcats try to get some quick changes in. Oh, the pass is deflected. McEachran, good play to keep it onside. Shot save made by Wilson. He'll tap it from his blocker to his glove and will cover up. McMullen. Dykers will one-touch it off. Here's Crawford. Pass it to the far side. Pass through the middle. Was looking for Crawford, streaking the middle. It was deflected by the Truro defenseman. Now here's Dykers. Sampson. Spins off a check. Down low for Dykers. Return feed for Asher Sampson. Up the wall. Nova's able to hold in. Sampson. Pass it across. McMullen. Sharp angle shot. Butcher able to kick that aside. Dykers down low. Crawford turns it over to Lincoln McDonald to Truro. He sends it to the middle. And Webb will flip it to the wall. Hit the linesman. Lex McKenzie, long pass ahead. Ripley will send it ahead. Lincoln McDonald, the Truro will give chase as he takes a bump from Frazier. Centering pass. Hopped over a stick in front. Back the other way. Here's Gillis. Gillis will dump it in deep and give chase. Gillis stays with it as he battles with Wadden. Gillis try to go back to the point. Didn't get a lot on it. Sent ahead. Good step up by Rain McDonald. Will send it down deep into the Truro end. McNutt. Gillis of the Nova stays with it. He absorbs a check. 3 Bearcats down there. Duggan will come in and help for the visitors. Pulled free, Duggan. Knocked away from him by Clough, and Clough will jockey for position and come away with a loose puck. He'll skate it out himself. Jacob Clough weaves into the middle. Knocked off stride, but Frizzle will help him out. And the Bearcats are able to get it down on the Nova zone. Rain McDonald. Ahead looking for Duggan, and instead ends up going to the middle to Gillis. Gillis Tried to dump it in. Merriweather will send it ahead. Miller. Head for Clough. Clough will give chase. It's being watched closely by Rain McDonald. Merriweather up ahead. McCulley will swat it in deep. Wilson well out of his net to play it. Will rim it around. Stanfield off the bench. Had to be careful. Romard pulls it free. It's turned back over. Here's Stanfield in front looking for McCulley. It's picked up by McIsaac. McIsaac chip it in and give chase. McIsaac still with it as he's looking for that full lap of the offensive zone. He's hooked up. Puck comes out. Stanfield ahead. Turn back over. Here's McDonnell ahead. Romard has a step. Partial break. Romard works in. Lockyer able to angle him off and take away the scoring chance. Bearcats get it to the line, but not out. McMullen. Shot deflected. Butcher makes a save. Puck still loose. Merriweather works his man to the ground. Romard kicks it out. The Bearcats are able to chip it back to the neutral zone. McMullen. Saucer pass ahead. McDonnell. McDonnell in. Pass to the middle just behind Romard. As he tries to stay with it. A 3-on-2 back the other way now for Truro. Holman put it too far out in front of himself and then tripped over his stick. McDonald will send it down the ice. Tired Nova's unit won't be able to catch up, and that'll be an icing. Face off to the right of Wilson. Shot 16-12 in favor of the Novas. Kenzie sends one towards the goal. That was blocked. Rebounds there. Lincoln McDonald got the shot away, but the save was made by Wilson. Chipped ahead. Novas still need a change. They were unable to change after that icing. Kenzie will chip it ahead. Odd man rush back the other way, but McMullen able to step in. Austin had it knocked away from him by Lex McKenzie. Here's Lincoln McDonald. Cross-ice pass, swatting at it was Peoples. That was too high for him. Peoples still has it as he's knocked off into the boards. Here's Lincoln McDonald and the Novas. Trying to jam it back in. Sends it out to Peoples. Glove save made by Butcher as he stays out to his post. .42 left to go here in the second period. Both goaltenders been stellar here. We hit the halfway mark of this game. Shot from the point, wide of the goal. Frazier will pinch in. Keep it in. Here's Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. Spins off a check. Another nice move into the middle. It's chipped ahead Frizzle. Jacob Frizzle has a couple men with him. Over Clough into the middle looking for Miller. He was stopped. Miller back down low for Frizzle. Jockeys for position with his man in the corner. Swatted around Rain McDonald. Will tip it ahead to Lincoln. Lincoln McDonald will race it up ice himself. Nice move. Stays with it. Pass comes in as Austin got the shot away. The save was made by Butcher as McDonald was knocked off stride, was still able to get the puck over to his man. Pass attempt, turned over. Dykers slings it into the middle. Stanfield to Michaud. Michaud will rim it all the way around. McNutt first on it, but he's being watched over by Sampson. Couple of tired Bearcats on the ice. And here's a shot, comes in. Stick save is made by Butcher off the shot from Rain McDonald. Couple of tired Bearcats on the ice, and the Novas are going to try to take advantage. Rain McDonald, his shot, low shot, looking for the tip. Save made by Butcher once again. Clough trying to spin off the check. He has it. Swatted away by Sampson. Dykers will flip it in. Stanfield up ahead. Here's Alex McDonald. He'll flip it back in deep. Bearcats will wait so they can get a couple bodies off. Long pass ahead. Tipped by McCully. McMullen circles back into his own end. Saucer pass ahead. Sampson down the right side, trying to spin off the check. Holman stays with him. Holman in the corner takes a bump from McIsaac. McIsaac into the middle. Sampson looking back door, fanned on the pass. It almost got through. Caught the stick of McNutt. Nutt will shovel it ahead. Can't clear. Crawford couldn't get the shot away. Stays with it, and his shot deflects off a skate. Here come the Novas back the other way. McIsaac first on it. Colton McIsaac back to the point. Alex McDonald had to jump on him. He'll have to circle back to the neutral zone. Picked up here by Lockyer. Lockyer. Long stretch pass. Misses the mark. McMullen. D to D for Rain McDonald. Back to McMullen. Head up through the middle to Romard. Romard drives in, stays with it. Romard still has it, tried to center it. Now back the other way. Bearcats have numbers if they hurry. Holman drives wide, still has it. Holman centering pass looking for Lockyer. He was watched closely by Frazier. McIsaac trying to go back the other way. Wadden steps up on him and stays with it, and he'll get it down deep. It's Rain McDonald first on it ahead. Here's Lincoln McDonald. Long stretch pass. Good stick from Merriweather. Back the other way. Lincoln McDonald of Truro will give chase on Frazier. It's knocked down. Here's Austin. Austin through center. Gets it down deep as he absorbs a check from Webb. Kenzie behind the net to his D partner Merriweather. Merriweather back to McKenzie. Kenzie, rink wide. Pass, Hudson Miller. Through the middle, here's Lincoln McDonald trying to drive wide. Nice move pass. McMullen stays with it. Didn't get a lot on the shot, but he got the shot on net. The save made by Wilson. 4.5 to go here in this second period. Mullen behind the net looking for Alex McDonald. Didn't find him, but it finds Lincoln of the Novas. Trying to work it ahead. It's turned over, though. Here's Hudson Miller into the middle. He's looking for Holman. It's turned back over. Flip pass out. Here's Lincoln McDonald trying to drive wide on Merriweather. Stops up. Merriweather able to stay with him. Rimmed up the wall. Miller ahead for Clough. Clough chips it by McMullen. Knocked off stride. We'll give chase on Alex McDonald. Pulled free. Here's Frizzle. Trying to work his way in. That's swatted aside. Stopped by Wilson. Austin. Nice slip pass through the middle for Peoples. His shot deflected high and wide. Good little hook pass through the stick triangle. And off the point. Frazier settles it down. We'll just knife it down low. Back to point. Frazier. Wide pass. Duggan. Trying to cycle it down low, but he's watched over closely. He does get it to Lincoln McDonald. He's angled off by McKenzie and knocked to the ice. Stanfield flips it all the way down. That's not going to have enough on it. Icing waved off. Frazier first on it as counterpart number 18. Works in on him. Good play by Frazier to stay with it. And here's Crawford back the other way. Under 3 to go here in the second. Into the middle. Sampson walk, shot, blocked. Rebounds there. Crawford scores. Shot bounced off the end boards and Colin Crawford right on the doorstep. We'll put it past Blake Butcher, and finally we get a goal in this contest. It's the Novas who go ahead 1-0. It's the leading scorer that does so. Romard will line up here for this face-off against Holman. A huge icebreaker here in the late stages of the second period. said, Michaud. Frazier and Sampson with the assists on the Crawford goal. Chipped ahead. Holman will drive wide on his man. McIsaac able to stay with him. Nearly forces a turnover, and now does. Michaud. Send it back in deep. Wilson out of his net to play it. Truro gets a quick change in. Alex McDonald. Long stretch pass that misses everybody. Icing waved off on the tip. Lockyer will pick it up. Up the wall, McCulley will give chase. He'll get it out. Holman will give chase. Has a man with him. Mason Holman. Spins away. Tried to center it. Nobody there. Gillis will flip it ahead as McIsaac gives chase for the Novas. Forces a turnover from Lockyer. McIsaac. Shot up and over the net. Lockyer. Back the other way. He'll skate it out. Cuts to the middle. McCulley wanted a change. Wasn't expecting the pass. McMullen ahead. Looking for Gillis. Lockyer. Gain the line and send it down. Rain McDonald behind the net to McMullen. $1:30 left here in this second period. The point, Ripley will keep it in. Here's Lincoln McDonald of Truro. Here's Rain McDonald ahead. Romero going through the middle, back the other way. Wadden tries to keep pace with him. Hauled down. No penalty on the play. Wadden able to stay with it, not draw a penalty on himself. So Romero would have had a glorious scoring chance on the breakaway. Lincoln McDonald feathers it ahead. Austin takes a bump. So they battle to the right of Butcher. McDonald able to pull it free. There's the two Lincoln McDonalds on the ice together. Shot comes in from the faceoff dot as Peoples is stopped by Blake Butcher, his 21st save of the contest. .40 seconds left to go here in the second period. Back to point, Frazier. His shot didn't get much on it. Almost ended up as a shot pass, but Lincoln McDonald Truro will get it ahead. Miller will knife it down deep. Frazier first on it behind the net for McMullen. Nice pass through his legs, will get it ahead. Lincoln McDonald gets it to Peoples. Peoples works in, trying to weave around. Michaud couldn't. Lincoln McDonald of Truro will get it to the line, but not out. Frazier, his shot, steered away by Butcher. Lincoln McDonald steps up, absorbs the check there, did Michaud. Pass ahead, Frazier will pick it up for the Novas. The second period will come to a close as Colin Crawford breaks the deadlock late, and the Novas draw first blood. Shots are 23-15 overall for the visitors. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes for the third period of play. The score after 2 periods here at the Rec. Novas lead the Bearcats 1-0. Welcome back for the third period of play here at the Rec in this afternoon's Nova Scotia Under 15 Major Hockey League contest between the visiting Novas and the hometown Truro Bearcats. Only one goal through the first two periods. It's a man taking the draw and chasing that puck right now. Colin Crawford for the Novas broke the deadlock late in the second period as they hold a one-goal lead here in the third. Lincoln McDonald trying to work his man free, but he put himself offside in the process. Bearcats will have to tag up as McMullen will cut out from behind his net, and a collision between Crawford and McDonald. Neither saw each other. Big collision there. Crawford will slowly make his way back in the offensive zone. Dyker's knocked to the ice hard by Keegan Webb. Into the middle, Sampson cuts in, shot save is made by Butcher. He's been excellent this afternoon, as has his counterpart, Landon Wilson. As Butcher will swallow that up, and the faceoff will stay in the Truro zone. Lincoln McDonald of the Novas in to take the draw. One back, Rain McDonald off his back foot. That shot. Lincoln McDonald on the doorstep, but it's gloved down by Butcher once again. Clough going to be shown out of the dot. Frizzle will come in, take his place against Lincoln McDonald. Frizzle will come in and win it back, but Lincoln McDonald out in front, and they score! Manton Austin able to get loose in front of the net. He'll pot home the loose puck in front, and he'll give the Novas a 2-0 lead. Excellent play by Lincoln McDonald of the Novas as he lost the draw, but he tore right through Frizzle at center, and he was able to knock it loose of the defenseman on Truro, who had just gotten the face-off one back. Then from there it was centered, and Austin all alone on the doorstep. Butcher had no chance on that one, and the Novas pick up a lead here in the first minute of the third period. Miller trying to weave in, lost it. Frazier chipped across. McDonald and Peoples with the assists on the play. Here's Peoples now. He's run off by Frizzle. Sent behind the net for Bowen McNutt. Not long pass ahead. Clough picks it up. Absorbs the check. Comes across to the far side. Austin will send it back behind his net where Oliver McMullen will collect for the Novas. Mullen reverses it off for Purcell. Head McDonnell. McDonnell through the middle. Picked up by Romard. He'll dump it down on deep on Blake Butcher. He'll steer that into the corner. Lockyer picked it up. It was knocked off his stick. Wadden will stay with it and pass it back off for Lockyer. Lockyer chips it ahead too far. Now McMullen try to shake off Holman. He'll send it up the wall. Lockyer gets it back. Weaves past one. Send it ahead. Here comes Holman. Holman working wide as a man go to the net. Rink wide pass. McCully shoots. Good save by Wilson. So McCully came in streaking off the right wing. Got a good shot away. Good pass from Holman. Back the other way. Lockyer first on it for Truro. Head McCully tried to grab it. Couldn't. Alex McDonald will go D to D to Rain. Rain McDonald ahead Sampson. Trying to beat his man wide, stays with it. Angled off into the boards by Wadden. Back out into the slot area. McIsaac's shot went wide of the goal. Sent back to the point. Rain McDonald will walk the line. Shot. Whistles high and wide. Back to the point. Alex McDonald. D to D for Rain. His shot punched away by Butcher. Rolling changes in for the Novas here. Tired Bearcats on the ice. Sampson walks to the middle, looks for the shooting lane. Tried to catch Butcher going the other way, but the stop made up ahead Stanfield. Sampson stays with it and forces a turnover. Wadden and Lockyer aghast on that Truro blue line as Sampson able to just step out in front. Comes back to the point. Crawford drops it back. Alex McDonald over to Rain. Rain, his shot. That's deflected. Save made by Butcher. And it's swatted away by Lockyer. Not spring training yet, but Lockyer got a good bat on that one. Chip back to the point. Rain McDonald gets it again. He's had a couple shots here. Another one steered into the corner by Butcher. Back to the point. Let's do it over again. Rain McDonald tries it again. Save made. Big rebound given up. And now Holman comes back the other way. Will give his teammates a chance to change. Bearcats are gassed here. Centering pass sent ahead. Out to neutral ice. Kenzie will activate up off the red line and send it in deep. Wilson will play it to Rain McDonald. He's at the end of his shift, though. He just had about 5 shots on net during the same shift. They battle for it in the corner. It's pulled free. Sent rink wide by Sampson. Asher Sampson still has some gas left in the tank. He'll drive wide. Tried to drop it off for Peoples. That hit the skate of Merriweather. Bearcats will feather it ahead, but clear. There's Austin trying to get the crossovers going, but lost an edge. Stays with it and gets the puck back. He'll hand it off back to his point man. And here's McMullen. He'll get it down deep. Austin centers it back. Only jerseys there are white. Bearcats wearing the white jerseys now that were in the second half of the season has become the norm in most junior leagues, as well as this U15 league and U18 league. Here's Austin. Latest goal scorer for the Novas, and he still has the puck. Tries to drive wide on McKenzie. McKenzie will flip it up and out. Line is held by McMullen as he takes a bump from Webb. McNutt shovels it up the wall. Hops over the stick of the Novas. They'll send it right back in. Didn't get a lot on it. It's picked up by Truro's Lincoln McDonald. Cuts back, pass through the middle. Nobody there. Novas will slow it down. Through the middle. Here's Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. He drives wide on McEachran. Drops a shoulder. Looking to wrap it around. He stays with it as D were changing. Moves the hip. Steps into the middle. Lincoln McDonald. Shot save made by Butcher. And he'll cover up the rebound. .33 shots now for the Novas compared to Truro's 16. Blake Butcher hits the 30 save mark. So face-off will come to his left. Rain McDonald will keep it in. Hands it off for Austin, trying to cycle it down low. Turn back over. Austin. Shot deflected and will go up and out of play. Austin swings it into the corner. Chipped by McCulley. He takes a bump, but he's able to get it into the Nova zone as the Bearcats will press. Long pass ahead. Gillis will stop up. Tries to dump it in cross corner. Glove down by Lockyer. He'll spin away. Ahead to McCulley. Had a great chance earlier this period. He'll just send it in towards the goal. Punched away by Wilson. Lockyer activates off the point. His shot, glove down. Austin. Swatted across the rink to Gillis. Gillis chips it past Michaud. Will give chase. Michaud angles him off. Gillis loses a stick in the process. He'll hurry to the bench. Lockyer. Trying to stay with it. Couldn't, and now back the other way comes Dykers. McKenzie off the bench. Their defending shot paddled away by Butcher. Kenzie. Backhand pass. Ripley finds it. Gains a line, sends it in deep. Wilson reverses it back to McMullen up the wall. Dykers tried to tip it to the middle, but it went through his legs and picked up by Wadden. D-to-D pass, looking for Lex McKenzie. Swats at it. Now here's Clough. Clough has Ripley with him. Clough, nice move to stay with it. Clough is in, but he's sandwiched by 2 Novas, and he's slow. to get to his feet. It comes back to the point. McKenzie sends it wide, deflected, they score! Jacob Frizzle on the deflection in front, and the Bearcats get on the board. Perfect deflection by Frizzle. Up and over the shoulder of Landon Wilson. Truro is back within one. Low point shot from Lex McKenzie. Just get it towards the net, and couldn't have been more perfect to the deflection from Frizzle. So he angled that up and into the top of the trapper side of Landon Wilson. Bearcats have a bit of life here. Still 12 minutes to go. Turned over Romard. Stays with it. Romard and shot saved by Butcher, and he'll cover up. Kenzie the lone assist on Frizzle's goal. Face off. Taken by Merriweather up ahead. Webb lifts the stick of his man and sends it ahead. Here's Lincoln McDonald. Working at McDonald. Shot save made by Wilson as he squares up to that. We'll get a little dust up in front of the Nova's net. The Bearcats with an offensive zone draw here. Still 11:48 to work with. Say trail by one. Lockyer off the draw. Stays with it. Tries to send one towards the net. Missed. Lincoln McDonald in front. Deflected by Holman. Just wide. Reverse check there by Lincoln McDonald of Truro. Throw it across Webb. Back to the point. Looking for Lockyer. It's almost knocked by him for Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. Lincoln McDonald gets it back for the Novas. He'll send it behind the net. McMullen. Hopped over his stick. Austin trying to feather it through. He's hit hard by Lockyer, but the Novas are able to get it in deep. Webb checks behind him, stays on it, goes up the near side wall. Lincoln McDonald's there. He takes a bump from his opposing Lincoln McDonald. Frazier gets it at the line, has some room. Cohen Frazier pass it off. Peoples was trying to move into the middle. It's cleared away. Knocked down, though, by Austin, but Webb stays with it. A 2-on-1 back the other way. Keegan Webb. Good play by McMullen as he's able to get down and block the pass across. That was intended for Lincoln McDonald. Frazier takes a bump, but gets it ahead to Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. Bearcats stay with it. It's a battle on the far near side. Webb pass it across. Here's Rowan McCachran, has some room. He'll rim it down low. It's picked up by Frazier. Frazier off the glass and out. Gets by Bowen McNutt. Won't be an icing, and Butcher will tip it off for McNutt. Long pass ahead. Good step by Alex McDonald, but he has his stick lifted. Nova's able to hold it in. Sent in on goal. Butcher able to steer that away. Duggan picks it up, sends it to the slot. Was looking for Crawford. Just missed him, and Alex McDonald will shovel it back down low. Crawford couldn't handle it. Ripley trying to send it ahead. Crawford will spin it back deep into the Truro end. Under 10 to play here in regulation. Cacker knocks his man down, and it's rimmed around by Stanfield. Ripley takes a peek behind him as Rain McDonald will pinch up. Comes to the line. Crawford. Shot is gloved down by Butcher. With 9:23 to go, the Novas with a 2-1 lead. Redo the draw. Romard lines up against Clough. Clow back on the ice after he took a hard bump into the boards. He was sandwiched by a pair of Novas, but it ended up leading to the Truro goal, so I'm sure he'll take it. Now here's the goal scorer, Frizzle, down the right side, stops up. He'll rim it all the way around. Novas come up with it. McIsaac gains the red, and he'll dump it in deep. This Butcher will slow it up by a minute for McKenzie. McKenzie ahead. Romard picks it up for the visitors. Pass across. McMullen able to stay with it. Michaud will pinch up. Give it to Frizzle. Frizzle. Pass it across. Miller trying to go back to Frizzle. Romard back there to support his defenders. Doubling up the shots right now are the Novas, 36-18. Clow spins away. He'll skate it out. He's being hounded by McIsaac. Couldn't get the pass away, but still stays with it. Hooks it into the middle for Miller. Miller in front for Frizzle. It's directed towards the net. Chipped out. Lockyer checks nobody, but he keeps it in the process. Novas get it out. McIsaac gains center. He'll get it down deep, and the Novas need a change. They'll peel off. Clow cuts wide. Had it knocked away from him, but Lincoln McDonald will throw it down deep. Wilson won't take any chances here. He'll just cover up with under 8 to play here in the third period. Bearcats have been pressing a bit since getting their first goal. See what they can do here. Shot comes in, save made by Wilson. McDonald mans the point. We'll throw it down deep to Webb. Ahead picked up by Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. Hands it off for Peoples. He takes a check from Lincoln McDonald, but Austin will pick it up. His shot high and wide. Hard hit on Rain McDonald, but he's able to get it down deep. Long pass ahead is tipped by Webb. Icing waved off. Webb gives chase, centers it, looking for Holman. It was creeping out, but it's picked up by Austin. Turned back over. Lincoln McDonald, long pass towards the net. Webb looking for the deflection, just put it wide. Another big hit. Bearcats aren't able to hold it in. Zanovas will get it down the ice. Back the other way is Lockyer. Dump it in, but it's picked back up by the Novas. Under 7 minutes to play here in this third period. Bearcats looking for the equalizer. Long pass ahead, finds Sampson in stride. Sampson into the net, cuts to the forehand and scores. Pretty pass, pretty goal, and Asher Sampson restores the 2-goal lead. 3-1 for the Novas. He was able to wait out Butcher and slide it past the Truro netminder. And after a good flurry of pressure by the Bearcats, it's the Novas that get on the board next. Rain McDonald will chip it ahead for Sampson. It's Alex McDonald who threw that pass ahead and found Sampson in stride, and some serious straight line speed from Asher Sampson. So he'll flip it in cross corner. We'll go off on a change, but it's high stick down by Truro. Pass up the middle, turned over. Here's McDonnell, cuts into the middle. His shot saved by Butcher. Another chance goes wide. Frizzle. Pass it ahead, Miller. Tries to flip it out to Clow. It's picked up by Frazier. He'll chip it ahead. Pass to the middle for McIsaac. Stays with it. He's watched over by McKenzie. Puck's loose in the corner. Frizzle will try to shovel it out. McKenzie will come support. Pass ahead. Miller weeds it into the middle and tries to send it out, but it's thrown right back in by the Novas. So he'll try to hold this 2-goal lead. 5.5 to go. Long pass ahead. Frizzle drives wide. Will chip it ahead. Go off on a change. Austin sends it back to Rain McDonald at the point. Over to Alex. Long pass up ahead to Peoples. Peoples waits. Curl and drags. Save made by Butcher off the mask. And the rebound is covered up by Blake Butcher. His 40th shot faced of the contest. Austin will come line up against Truro's Lincoln McDonald. Back to point, Alex McDonald. Shot off his back foot, chipped out by Truro. Here's Rain McDonald. Only 3 McDonalds on the ice right now instead of the 4. And a hard hit by Keegan Webb, and that's going to be a penalty coming up to the Bearcats. So he knocked Alex McDonald to the ice. Boarding call against Webb as Alex McDonald will head to the bench, keeled over, but back up to his feet. The Novas will go to a power play here with under 5 minutes to play. This is the first penalty of the contest as well, which is an oddity nowadays. And the Novas with a chance to all but likely put this game out of reach. They can score here. McMullen shot. Rebounds there. Good save by Butcher as he sprawls out and makes the save. And you can't fault Blake Butcher. He's given the Bearcats every opportunity to stay in this game. Still a 2-goal deficit. Just able to come back from, but when you're on the penalty kill, you got to start being aggressive here. McMullen walks the line, tried to hand it off. He's able to stay with it. Oliver McMullen. Curl around, passes it out, shot saved by Butcher. I don't know if he even saw it, but he reacted and made the stop. Sent down the ice by Stanfield. Still a minute and a half left in the penalty to Webb. Pass it off. Crawford stops up, lost an edge. From his stomach, he'll get it to the point. Bearcats will be aggressive here. Rain McDonald floats it down low. Wadden was first on it, couldn't handle it. Lincoln McDonald trying for the wraparound pass in front. Bowen McNutt will try to grab it. Here's Lincoln McDonald. He'll skate it out, tries to skate it out. He's knocked off stride, and the Bearcats on the second chance will send it down the ice. Now a penalty coming to the Novas as Romard knocked his man down. That'll be an interference call against the Novas, and we'll play some 4-on-4 for 47 seconds. We'll see here if the goalie pull comes now down 2 with 3.5 to go. If it comes once the penalty to Webb expires, or maybe a bit early on if the Bearcats can get some pressure here in the offensive zone on the 4-on-4. McIsaac will skate it out himself. McIsaac drives wide on Lockyer. McIsaac still with it. Couldn't find a shooting lane. He'll center it though. Good kick save by Butcher. Alex McDonald lost it. The Bearcats have it. Michaud feathered ahead. Clough drops it off for Michaud. Penalty to Webb, upset to expire as Michaud will rim it around to the near side. Ahead. Penalty now over. Bearcats on the power play. Clough keeps it in. Close shot. Kick save made by Wilson. Nova's unable to clear. Lockyer settles it down. His shot blocked and cleared by Austin as he gets a nice tap on the shin pads from his defenseman going to the bench. Lockyer will start it out. We'll look for Butcher to start looking towards the bench. Butcher's going to make his way to the bench. It'll be a 6-on-4 now once they get the extra skater out for 35 seconds. Holman, the extra attacker. Here's Lincoln McDonald of Truro. Set up, rink-wide pass. Webb with a one-timer. Didn't get much on it. Back to the point. Lincoln covering. Hands it off. Seth Lockyer. Cuts to the middle. Shoots up and over the net. Holman will pick it up. 11 seconds left in the penalty to Romard. McDonald sends one towards the net looking for the tip. Goes wide. Sent back down low. Holman trying to weave past McMullen. McMullen stays with it. Gets it up to the point. 6-on-5. Lockyer. Curl and drag. Shot! And it's stopped by Landon Wilson with 1:25 to go. Bearcats still trailing by 2. Timeout will come for Greg Mullen's team. So Bearcats try and draw something up. Can't see anything there. No clipboard on the Nova's bench, so nothing to look at there. So we'll play 6-on-5 here. Nothing happened at the Nova's bench. I think the message is pretty simple. Hold that lead. 1:25 to go here in the contest. Bearcat net is empty. Blake Butcher, an even 40 saves. Outstanding performance from the first-year goaltender. Huge face-off here. And it's won by the Novas. Frazier turns it over. Here's Holman. Back to point, Lockyer. Down low, McDonald. Looks like they're only going to play one man on the point here. McDonald will wheel back up. He's knocked off stride. It's picked up. Pass across. Sampson has the empty net. He'll weave in. He's taken down. No call on the play. Austin from his back foot. Save made. Holman. Last minute of play now in the period. Holman. Sharp angle shot. Save made by Wilson. Claw will try to send it back for Webb. It's chipped by and out to neutral ice. Lockyer carries it in himself. Seth Lockyer down the wing. Sharp angle shot. Wilson nearly in the net, but he's able to keep it out. Nearly pushed himself back into the net as he pushed off. 23 stops for the Nova's netminder. 37 to play here. Toss-up draw pulled free. Lincoln McDonald will chip it ahead. McDonald knocked to the ice. And now here's Lincoln McDonald. He's stripped from McIsaac. McIsaac will just spin back, takes a bump, but he gets it back to McMullen. McMullen, long pass out to Lincoln McDonald, the Novas. He'll give chase. Lockyer looks at the clock. 15 seconds to go, but he's being hassled by Lincoln McDonald of the Novas. And a penalty is upcoming here to Truro. And that should pretty much do it. Face-off will come back into the Truro end with 8 seconds left. Butcher makes his way back in net. One more face-off. Michaud will send it behind the net. We'll play pitch and catch. Michaud Just send it down the ice, and that'll do it. And the Novas will skate away with a 3-1 win here at the rec. Blake Butcher, outstanding effort in the loss, making 40 stops. Landon Wilson gets the win with 23. Both teams will be back in action tomorrow. Catch it on High Button Sports. Early one tomorrow, 11 a.m. start down in Liverpool, and Truro plays the Western Hurricanes. You can catch that on High Button Sports, as well as the Novas. So they have a big matchup against the Bombers at home tomorrow morning as well. Thanks for tuning in on High Button Sports. It's been Noah Poirier on the call. Happy New Year to everyone. We'll catch you back here with some more hockey soon. Final score here from the rec: Novas 3, Truro Bearcats 1.